Hey, welcome to Tim Talks. And here with us today, we have John, who's from All-in-One Email. Thanks so much for being with us today, John. If you could, just tell us a little bit about yourself and, how you got started in this industry and, what you do.
Well, thank you. I initially got started way back in the late 90s. I was the marketing manager at Hallmark Cards and Hallmark.com in Kansas City. And it was back in those early days that I started and ran and launched their affiliate network, affiliate program. And it was brand new in the industry, and things were kind of crazy good back then. We also, we had an internal list of about 1 million customers on the Hallmark Gold Crown card. And so that's kind of where I first got into email marketing back in like 99, 2000. And then I left Hallmark and yeah. and then got hired by a company called Ad Knowledge, also in Kansas City. That's the area where I'm from. Okay. A digital marketing agency, an ad agency. And I was hired to manage email, basically doing list management. And so I did that for a couple of years there, and then realized very quickly, this is something that I could do myself. And so I've been on my own doing email marketing since 2009. Wow. And so, yeah, I've been through a lot, seen a lot. I've seen the glory days and also the not so good days. So it's been interesting.
That's awesome. That's a really cool story just to hear, where you started. I remember when I was a kid, the whole Hallmark where, my mom would subscribe to different things from Hallmark and go in and buy things. So yeah, you were probably one of the ones pushing her some of the ads and different things like that. I think more so back then though, wasn't it more direct mail that Hallmark did than it was email marketing?
Well, it was, but it was my team that got started, with the whole digital, with the Hallmark.com came around. And so, yeah, so we started, we had a, fulfillment center right in Kansas City. So everything at Hallmark.com that you could purchase, through the online service. So, yeah, so we were pushing, one of the big products that we were pushing back then was Hallmark Flowers was a big push. And unfortunately, I guess it doesn't exist anymore, but back in the day, it was a new thing, and we blew away the competition and our quality. It was just amazing. It was a lot of fun to be part of that launch, and I was involved with radio buys and and that kind of thing throughout the country. We worked with a big advertising agency, Leo Burnett out of Chicago, that helped us out quite a bit doing some of the graphics and so forth. Yeah, it was in the early days of the internet, and then the .com bubble burst, and unfortunately a bunch of us got laid off, and that's why I moved on.
Yeah. So as you made that transition, as you saw the need and you jumped into the email side, what are some things that not only led to that, but just right off the bat, like what did you see were some ways that you could help out your customers as you migrated from Hallmark and into your own realm of working and doing your own email service providing?
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, it's just the immediacy that email can provide. We can spin up our company can have a new product and we can launch it over email within minutes to customers, and not have to spend months and months with media advertising and all that. So email, if you can get right into the inbox, it's a win, and it was a lot of fun back in the day. I mean, it's a lot more challenging now. I'm doing something completely different. I'm not doing products, physical products anymore, but that's where I really got my feet wet.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I think then as you look at being your own best customer, what does that look like? Because you said so many things have changed. So how does that look today, from what you were doing and how you can be your own best customer today to actually land in the inbox?
Yeah. So it all comes down to testing, Tim, just everything, not only, how does your email templates render in many different inboxes, but being sure that your images are being served, that your clicks are redirecting properly, that your all your SPF, DKIM, and so forth is all set up correctly. But I mean that's just kind of like basic 101. Before you want to send out a message to anybody, really, you should be testing it to your seeds and be sure to use Yahoo, Hotmail, AOL, Gmail, any free service provider that you can create some seed addresses and send to those and monitor them. And then the other good thing is sign up for other products online and see what other people are doing and click on their ads and reply to them and see what kind of response you get. Because you can learn a lot from what's going on in the marketplace just by being a customer. But, going back to what you're saying about being our own best customer is, I want to be able to see exactly what the journey is that our customers are going through. So, we use automation, workflows, everything's automated. But I want to make sure that what the customer is getting is what we want them to see, obviously. And that's where you really can find that there's glitches there or there's a bug somewhere by being your own customer, getting on your own email list and seeing what other people are saying. Read the copy, spell check, little things like that. It's you can learn a lot.
So it's definitely not like a set it and forget it type kind of thing. You've really just got to constantly be monitoring, updating, doing that A/B testing to figure out what's working and what isn't.
Absolutely. And you mentioned something very powerful there, Tim, A/B testing. We built our platform at All in One Email all about rotating and testing. And so we've got ways that we can send, multiple templates out to a list. And then basically that's how we're doing our ABCD. And we're looking for the best combination of from names, subject lines, and we have the reporting that reflects all that. So you can go in and then change it to the winners, and one thing that we're moving towards right now, it's a manual process where we can see the reporting of which from names and which subject line combinations work best. But we're working to get that AI generated where it's picks a winner based on a basically what you tell it you want after like so many sends. After so many percentage of open rates, it chooses the winner automatically. So that's where we're headed with the A/B testing.
Yeah, so you've got more of an A to Z testing than an A/B testing.
It is. It's much more than A/B. Yeah, and we do that for like I said, subject lines, from names. We do it for templates. Template rotating, the A/B splitting, and also the landing pages. We can rotate the landing pages within the templates themselves to measure which landing page is getting the best ROI. So it's A, B, C, D all the way to F for Tim. It's right.
Yeah. That's great. That's awesome. So as you're doing the testing and you figure out like what's working and what isn't through your A/B testing, how do you figure out which data is even good to send to? Because I know as an email service provider, I'm sure all the time you're running into different issues and problems when you actually hit that send button. So what do you do to maintain a good, healthy database?
Yeah, excellent question. So it comes down to validating your data, and doing it often, because data, even though it was validated, say a month ago, it may not be valid today. So, we require all of our customers to use data validation, whether they use our tool or they use a third party. It doesn't matter. They have to be updating their data when or validating it when it comes in. And I'm going to give you a little secret here about one of our features that we built that saves money for customers that utilize the data validation in real time. And what we do is, this is typically for high volume mailers that have a lot of duplication. So I don't want to have to, pay the service provider, the data validation company over and over and over again for the same email address, right?
Right. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So what we do is, we ping our service, and then for every response we get back, we save into a database. And and then you can put a rule in there where it says, okay, if the same email address comes in within, say, 30 days, and it's already been validated, we're going to bypass validation and just accept that lead, because if within X period number of days, I don't want to have to pay for it again. Right. So it's a real big money saver, and we have it all, it's all API based, real time feed, and you can do it with with the CSV upload as well. But data validation is so important, and that's why we have the rule that you have to validate your data. You have to. There's too much bad emails out there.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's what every marketer ends up running into, is because it doesn't matter how well you've done your DMARC, your DKIM, you've set up your subject lines, done all your AB to F testing. If the data you have isn't good enough, then it's going to be all for nothing. So that's great. And that's a great money saving tip that you even have for your clients that you're able to leverage and help them save some costs, which is fantastic.
Absolutely. And when a customer does come to us and they have a list, and they're looking to mail it, they say, well, just give me a sample 5,000 records or something, and I'll run it through the validation tool, and I'll know very soon, what kind of response this mailer is going to get based on the feedback I get back. So there's a lot of invalids and complainers and traps in there. It's probably not worth moving forward with that customer. It's going to be problems.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. It actually brings me to the next question that I had when it comes to compliance, because I'm sure there's all these complexities that you have to navigate around. So when you're managing that process, what does that look like, or how do you deal with all the, the compliance issues and regulations that are out there as you send on behalf of your clients and aggregate and capture that data? Right.
Well, there's very basic ones, like just simple canned spam requirements, right? That we require every record that comes in must have the opt-in IP, the opt-in URL, and the timestamp. That's basic. You got to have that. Then with the other compliance, with the Gmail and the Yahoo whole thing, for us, that hasn't been an issue because we were doing all that, SPF, DKIM, DMARC for years. So we have not seen, any change in any of our deliveries to Yahoo or Gmail. Whereas, earlier this year, people were kind of freaking out about it. But no, we haven't had any issues. And yes, we have a compliance attorney that keeps me up to speed on changes that are going on, state by state. And there's different states are kind of acting like California. They're following the California lead, and so they just have to be very careful. And we have a one-click unsub, and we've been doing that for a long time. And so anybody that clicks the unsubscribe button, they're automatically unsubbed at the global level. Another thing that we do that maybe some others don't is we also unsub reply tos or replies that we get. And we do that really out of just extra caution. When I'm super conservative about unsubscribes. Anybody that replies to me, I'm just going to go ahead and unsub them. And it's an automated process. And yes, we may lose a few customers that are saying, thank you, or send me more information or whatever. But there's too many emails out there that we would miss if we had to do that manually. We just don't have, you don't have an army of people getting replies,
Yeah.
So it's an automated process. So that's another little tip that I do that I would recommend others do as well, just to save them headaches down the road.
Yeah, I think that's super smart, because then you're getting ahead of it. And like you said, even if you lose some, you're ultimately keeping yourself protected and safe, so that you're not getting a rise in complainers.
Yep. Yeah. And there, I used to work. There was an organization that I know that they have a a resubscriber option, where,
cool.
where, if subscribers have previously unsubscribed and then they opt in again, they go ahead and honor that new subscription as a new customer. And I'm not doing that, but it's something that's out there. You may want to think about it, about how you handle resubscribers, because it does happen. But again, I really fall on the most conservative side. And if, when they unsubscribe, they're done. They're done.
There's lots of emails out there, so you there can be someone else to replace them. Yeah, because I would imagine that if you allow someone to resubscribe, you'd want to make sure that you manage that from a standpoint of not starting them over in that customer journey.
Exactly.
They're kind of already in the middle. You don't want to put them back at the beginning. Then that wouldn't be a very good taste in their mouth. So yeah, like you said, definitely something you want to take into consideration on how you'd manage that and set that up. And execute, really. Yeah. So as you look at your whole strategy, when you're looking at, analysis, and then you look at execution and all of that, how would you sum all that up with what you do there at All in One?
Oh boy. I built this platform, all 100% based on automations. And I'm personally, I'm not a bulk mailer at all. I've been one in the past. That's how I got started, even back in the Hallmark days. But, ever since then, I've noticed that, sending to people when they trigger an event is the best way to get the best engagement out of anybody. So obviously, when a user signs up for your service, that's when you want to trigger the autoresponder, whether it's the welcome message or the confirmation receipt or whatever. When they're in their inbox or they're interacting with you, that's when I want to send them mail. So when they click on one of my links or they open one of my emails, that's when I'm triggering another set of emails down that automation path, because I'm getting them while they're in their inbox, while they're engaging me. And I'm giving them something else because I know they're looking. So yeah, that is really kind of my secret sauce when it comes to email marketing, is the whole automated, click triggers, open triggers, autoresponders. It's the only way I mail. It's how I train people, my customers, and they do very well as a result.
That's awesome. And I think that because of what your efforts are and other companies that are starting to implement those tactics, we're seeing a better response from consumers when they're getting email marketing campaigns. They're not as quick to click, hey, this is spam, or they're not as quick to just unsubscribe, because they understand that if companies like you and everyone gets on board with implementing these best practices, and they know that they're getting good quality content and it's not just a mass spam. So I think it's great. I think it's a great strategy, and everyone should be doing it and taking that more personalized and approach and directness. It's fantastic. I like it.
Well, thanks. Well, and you mentioned, personalized approach. We also, built our templates to be personalized, so, my recommendation to anybody out there that's new, whether they're new or old to email, is personalize your emails. Whatever you can collect from the consumer when they're filling out your form or whatever, you can basically regurgitate that and send it back to them to say, hey, we know who you are, John in Kansas City, Missouri. Thank you for signing up on this website at this date and time with this IP. And I think that we just get a much less, spam complaint rate because of that. They know who we are. Obviously, we're using the same domain that they signed up at, and that we're sending to. And so there's that consistency there in the branding, the logos, the look and the feel, the color of the templates, everything is consistent. And then that personalization, like I said, helps so much. It's more than just first name. I mean, it's, you can go a lot deeper, and there's other companies that I know that have that can append data, and you can get more information, but that's not something I'm doing, but it's out there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, hey, I really appreciate you being on today. John, it's been a great session. I hope that our subscribers have been able to learn a lot from you. We're going to provide a link to John and his LinkedIn page. We're also going to provide his website so that you can connect with him. Obviously, John's been in the industry a long time. He's full of a lot of knowledge, great resource for any of you email marketers that are looking to run some campaigns and just need some extra oomph to bounce ideas off of. John's your go-to guy for that. So, John, really appreciate you being here today and being on Tim Talks.
Thank you, Tim. Really appreciate it.